I wanted to tell you the story of Sigis, the monster of the deep. Sigis is like a giant bullhead with a long, long tongue. The word refers to the action of lying on the beach, deep in the water, leering upwards. The transformer left his younger brother at Cape Scott and walked down to the east coast of Vancouver Island at Cache Creek. That is where the Kwagu'ł people lived at the time of creation. The village seemed to be deserted except for one little boy. "Hello there, young man," said the transformer. "Why are you all alone and looking so lost?" He could see that others in the village had not been gone long, as some of the houses still had fire burning. "There's just me and my grandfather left," said the boy. The boy looked real thirsty. The transformer said, "Well, where did the rest of the people go?" Then he pointed towards Cache Creek. "There's a good place to get some water. Come on, come have a drink," he said. "Nah, I don't want a drink," he said. "I'm not thirsty. My grandmother says not to go there because something down there lives deep in the water. And it is sigis. Its tongue can go under the sand, and every time someone goes near, not even all the way to shore, its tongue will take him into his mouth." "Don't be afraid," said the transformer. "Come on, come get some water." So the transformer took off this belt. He took off his belt and he told the little boy, "Put it on." He said, "Come on, come get some water." He took off his belt, and his belt had the two-headed sea serpent, so it had a sigis, and he made the little boy put it around him. The boy said, "No, I'm scared. My mom said, my mom was real thirsty and she went down there and she's gone. She never even came back," the little boy said. "You go get some water," said the transformer. "You don't have to be scared of that thing. You don't have to be scared." So the boy took that sigis belt, put it around his waist, and slowly started to walk towards shore. Or he started to walk towards the water, carrying a bucket in his hand. Suddenly the creature's tongue came from underneath the sand. So the ground started to shake, and then the little boy could feel the ground moving, and the tongue came up and not even funny though. But this is Rowdy's story. Okay, suddenly the creature's tongue came from under the sand and whisked the boy into his mouth. The transformer was not disturbed. He just looked over. He sat down and sang a little song, beating with the rocks that were on the beach. "Start the belt moving. Start the belt moving," he said. In the monster's stomach, the belt started to move. Soon the creature surfaced and swam to the beach, and he started to puke all over, and he started to puke out the whole tribe. Some of the people were just bones, and some were just hanging in there, and others were still fresh. The boy came out too, and he was so happy, and he had that belt around his waist still. The transformer said to the boy with the two-headed serpent, he said, "With the sigis around your waist, you can help me put these bones back together again. You think the people are dead, but they're only sleeping. Look, if you had refused to go to the water, you wouldn't have gotten your people back, and you probably would be dead too," the transformer said to the little boy. They started to put the bones back together. It was sometimes hard to fit the proper foot to the arm and the right person and the proper head to the proper body. When the bones were all put together, the transformer sprinkled some water of life on the people. So he went like this, and he started to sprinkle all over those bones, and then they started to come alive again. They started to get up, and their eyes were wild because they didn't know what had happened to them. You've been inside that thing for a long time, said the transformer. And he pointed over at that big sigis. With that, he grabbed its sigis by his neck and threw him as far as he could. You're never coming back, he said. And the people knew they were free from that sigis after all. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. I haven't read a story in a long time. But I read stories from this Kwagu'ł Legends book, and I like to use it. I like to read it to my students, and I really, really miss reading these because they're really awesome stories. But go off and buy yourself one. You can purchase one of these through the Umista, and I'm sure you can purchase one online. I think they're about $14.95 each. So if you contact the Umista Culture Center, you can go online and access their number. So, I hope you enjoyed that story.